Hi everyone. Before we jump into the Python code for the logistic regression, I want to show how to generate synthetic data for binary classification. And actually, this data is the one we are going to use in the Python experiment. So let's say the idea is first build one probability distribution. In this case, it's going to be a mixture of Gaussians that allows us to generate data for two different classes, where each class is going to be determined by the Gaussian we are using. So for example, if we have a mixture of two Gaussian distributions, one component is going to be in charge of the generation of the data belonging to class 1, and the second component is going to be in charge of the generation of class 0 data. So in this case, for example, this Gaussian component has a mean of these exact values. We call it mu1, right? And a covariance matrix, which is in charge of the shape of the Gaussian component. And here I show the exact values for this component in particular, right? Now for the second Gaussian components, we have that this is the mu vector, which is actually, right, the position of the center of the ellipse. And then we have sigma 2, which is in charge of the shape of the second Gaussian component. I'm not going to cover the details of how the covariance matrix produces the shape of the Gaussian component. I will cover that in a future video. So here in particular, the probability of any data point is going to be a combination. It's actually a convex combination between the two Gaussians weighted by these two numbers. So these are the weights or the proportions of how we combined these two Gaussians. And given that they are weights, I mean, they must sum up to 1. So in a more generic notation, the probability distribution of any data point when we have a combinations of k Gaussians is going to be the sum of the k components weighted by the corresponding weight, and we have to make sure that the sum of the weights is 1. So how we generate samples after having a Gaussian mixture distribution? We just first need to choose randomly which of the Gaussians we are going to use. That choice is going to be done by using the weight values. In particular, for example, if we have 0.6 and 0.4 weights, we're going to have to sample from the binomial distribution with those weights. And after we choose the component, then we go and generate one sample from that specific Gaussian. Also, the details on how we generate samples from one component are going to be covered in a future video. Okay, so let's start with importing the necessary libraries for our code. As usual, NumPy. We're gonna need matplotlib. I'm gonna keep the plots in line. Okay, so the first thing we can do is to plot the sigmoid function, right? Something we're going to use in the logistic regression. So we can define this function as sigmoid. This is going to receive, let's say, 2 parameters. I'm going to show that the default of this parameter is going to be gamma, and this function will return 1 divided by 1 plus the exponential of minus x, minus x plus gamma. So let's plot this function. Let's go from minus 10 to 10. 100 points, and we're going to plot T Sigmoid of T. Let's use a blue line and show it. Let's do title. Okay, here we go. So, okay, I want to show you now the parameter. Let's say we use, instead of the default gamma equal to 0, we use 5. Then we just see that the Sigmoid function shifts to the right and puts the center exactly where is our gamma parameter. So if we try, for example, gamma equals to -5, then the sigmoid is shift to the left into the -5, right? That's the main effect of the parameter, but we are going to use it with the default parameter centered in 0. Now let's generate the data for these experiments. As we saw in the slides, the data is going to be synthetic data generated by a mixture of two Gaussians, where we're gonna put the label 0 to one of the Gaussians and the label 1 to the other of the Gaussians, right? So let's use a random seed to be able to repeat the experiments. Then let's say that we're gonna use two Gaussians because it's a binary classification problem, so it makes sense to have just two Gaussians for now. We can do more complex things like having 4 or 5 Gaussians and then choose the groups of Gaussians that would be in charge of one class or the other. But for the sake of simplicity, we're going to use a mixture of two Gaussians. And let's say that the data size is going to be, I don't know, 120 points. This is the total number of points. And let's define the weights of the Gaussians. So we're going to use 0.6 and 0.4 for the second Gaussian. And let's define the Gaussian parameters. It's mu1. Let's say it is, I'm going to use the same numbers I used in the previous slides, minus 0.2 and 0.1, and the covariance matrix is going to be done the following way. Okay, even though I'm using a symmetric covariance matrix here, it's good to use the following trick to make sure always we end up with a symmetric matrix. We multiply the matrix by itself transposed and divided by 2. So with that trick, we make sure that the matrix is symmetric, and then we're not going to have errors in the Gaussian distribution. So this is the second component. Let's say it's going to be 0.2 and 0.25, and the covariance is going to be 0.2, 0.005, minus 0.05 here, and 0.2, and this is the second covariance matrix. Okay. Oops. Seems that I missed here another bracket. Same thing here. Okay, here we go. Okay, now let's start generating the data. I'm going to use a list to have the Gaussian parameters. I'm going to accumulate here the samples in this list. So I'm going to iterate in k the number of Gaussian components, and I'm going to append a sample from the random multivariate normal distribution with the parameters mu and the covariance matrix, right? So how many samples we want to generate? Well, it is going to be, yes, we're going to need an integer number here, and it's going to be a proportion of the data size. What proportion? Let's say that the component I is going to have wi times the size of the data. So at the end, we're going to have like data size points, but the proportion of points that belong to component 1 is going to depend on the weight associated to that component. And now let's add the label to each of the training points, right? So the samples coming from the Gaussian, the first Gaussian, we're going to stack a column of ones. Right, so here we create the column of ones, and has to be the same size as this, right? And here is very similar, but instead of ones is zeros. I mean, for the samples coming from the second component, it's going to be zeros. That means that we have like the labeled training data. We could actually put these two lines inside the for, the loop, and index, use np.ones in both cases and multiply by the y, and that will do the same work, but for the sake of simplicity, I prefer to write them out of the for loop. So now we put both set of samples together in a training set with the numpy vstock function. And let's save this data. Just in a plain text file. I mean, it's text, but it's going to be a CSV, right? A comma separated value. We can actually add a header here with the name of the columns. We have two variables, right? And we have the class. Has some issues here. Sorry about this. And this is column stack. Oh, more issues. Yeah, here is one. Okay, here we go.